So we are tasked to get Big Red on the road. We've been doing a lot of work to the Camaro, but this is next up.
It's overdue. It's overdue up. It's not next up. So my sister can't decide what she wants to put in this thing.
At all.
As
Cannot
far as
decide.
As engine. And then she can't decide if she can afford whatever she can decide on putting in there. We decided for her. So we're gonna go pick up an engine from this guy. This guy we known for a couple days.
So is this engine going to be more powerful or less powerful than what was in there before?
It's definitely gonna be less powerful by like football fields.
So let's drive down, let's go pick it up and you can see it.
Let's go get this engine, come on.
First time.
So we wanna get the thing on the road. She can't decide what she wants to put in it. And I don't wanna wait for it any longer. So we're gonna put this in there for right now. Anyway, either scenario is gonna have a small block in it, either conventional or an LS series based. We can set up suspension and everything else, get the thing driving. So we're getting this from this little fine gentleman here in our top seat.
And who are you, sir? You look familiar to me.
I shouldn't.
Oh, please.
So this is just a stock 327. I guess it's out of a Nova originally. It blocks a little different from a GM. The oil filter's a little raised to clear the suspension in an early 66, 67 Nova. But
Where'd you learn that from?
it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter from what we're using it for. We're gonna put it in the car and get it running. So we got some block huggers we're gonna put on it. We got a little toolbox even.
Yeah, shout out to Josh for charging me full retail price on this toolbox.
I should just put it in the truck, not told him about it. He wouldn't have missed it, but
Yeah, how do you know this as seen on TV Billy Mays guy?
Hi, Billy Mays here.
I've known this guy my whole life. We used to go play, what's that, crochet or whatever at your house?
Crochet? No, that's what we used to do when we at night.
Oh, that's what you do. You do the crocheting.
I still do that. Keeps me from getting carpal tunnel.
Croquet, there it is. Hey, you're gonna tell this is my cousin.
Hey, that's his
my cousin.
bionic cousin. Look at.
He doesn't want to be on camera.
Next is left. He's gonna tell a story about how he crashed 55.
Yeah, can we get this on camera?
Yeah, he's gonna come clean. So back before many moons, my crashy cousin over there had a 55 that he won't come clean on the story with. So he got it after he crashed it. Look at him sneaking away after the sunset. So he got the first version. And then that's when he bought the one I have now from my dad. So they raced both of your 55s that Carl's about, right? Back a long
Right,
time ago.
anti-drag stuff. Yeah.
But it's so long ago you can't remember because your Alzheimer kicked in, so you can't remember what the thing ran.
It was in the 9s.
I bet it was.
Psych.
Best
So who
of all
won?
worlds.
Could you remember who won at least?
Oh, I could outpull him always on the top end.
A little small block.
Yeah, that big block out of the hole would just launch like nobody's business. It was unbelievable, but my small block at top end would pull him every
That's
time.
because of the oval port. It still got away from him. Hit that guardrail.
Plus, back then, I think I weighed about 95 pounds soaking wet, and David was still about 225.
He's always been about the same size.
Yeah.
He's stocking up right now. Look at
Yeah,
that.
Pepsi.
Oh yeah. That poor guy. Hey, come over here. We gotta introduce you.
Come on, Davey. I know you think we're number one.
Oh my gosh. All right, so we got this small block now. Some gaskets in it. Maybe how long does the thing been sitting? Do some intake gasket and oil pan maybe?
I wouldn't even do it. I'd just put it in and run it.
All right,
Clean it up.
We're putting it in and run. We're not even cleaning it up. I'm gonna clip this video in, and this knucklehead dancing. Oh no, you weren't dancing. My sister that owns the car now, dancing with this guy in a August Nights parking lot, or an A&W parking lot at August Nights.
I don't know what to say.
That was about half a year ago though.
Yeah.
Get the wide zoom on him real quick. Josh just told me just to put it in the car. I couldn't do it. The spaz in me, the tweaker in me had to go through it. So I gave it a little fluff and buff. So I resealed the intake, the valve covers, the timing cover. I got a new water pump here. I made it a long water pump drive. This is the alternator off the car. So I want to tuck it down a little bit. And then we are adding AC. My sister got a AC kit deal from Classic Industries. So
She did?
She did. Fine, she spoiled herself. First time this car's ever had AC in its whole entire life. It is a strippy down Biscayne that didn't have AC. It did come with the factory padded dash though, little tidbit, little veer off course right there. This is what we got from Josh. We cleaned it all up. These are the block hugger headers. I had a set of plug wires. This is the HEI we got from them. And then this is a tranny they're gonna be running out of Old and Busted. This tranny's pretty fresh. Probably only has a couple thousand miles on it. I think it's dirty because it's been sitting around longer than it's been driving around. I shortened up the dipstick because it was in a truck before and it came up really high. So I just took a foot out of it. I still have to weld the, I gotta weld the stick back on it.
So much training fluids in there.
We're not checking the fluid right now. So, and you're wondering how we're gonna run a electronic transmission with a carbureted deal. We have a Edelbrock transmission control module deal, a little standalone, and then the kickdown bracket is actually the throttle position sensor for the transmission. So that's why it has a 700 style TV cable. It's not a kickdown bracket, but a 700 R4 TV cable bracket on here, because now that is being used for a throttle position sensor, which we'll show down the road here. So before we go any further on this fine jewel here and get this thing running, you gotta make sure to go down and you gotta give us a like, share, and subscribe. Tell me what you think. My sister thinks that this setup here, her car, is gonna get more likes than everything else. I don't know. Hope you guys don't prove me wrong, but let's see. So these are the set of valve covers I had laying around. These are the 300 horse 327 valve covers. I thought it was more fitting to put them on here than the Corvette one, so I painted these guys to match, and you can see that I don't have them held down yet. I'm gonna get the chrome little spreader to spread out the load and some studs to mount them, and plus I'm gonna take them off anyways to put the engine in, because I already put the alternator on it and I don't have another accessory hole here on the end to use my chain on each corner, so I'm gonna use it on the front of the exhaust port on each corner. So I don't want to have the chain mess up the valve cover, so I'm just going to pull them off. So we got to take the block huggers off. These wires are not on there all the way. I just pushed them on the boot just to.
You got a display model here.
Yeah, it's all blinging. It's all hyped up on Mountain Dew. Put a new thermostat in it, and then we're not going to have, this thing doesn't have a heater in it right now, so I capped this one. I got to get a plug for the here, and then we added the fan switch in the head. That's going to control both fans. We got a really nice radiator for this thing. Really nice, like really nice.
Really, really? Yes, yes.
So we got it bolted up here. Everything went together just like it's meant to be. It's a match made, perfect match. I got the starter put on it over here. We got to lift it up here and at an angle. This thing's full of training fluid, so I'm trying to get as much of the fluid to come out, because we have to tilt it pretty much at this angle to go in, and I don't want it puking everywhere the whole time going in, but I think I got it pretty much done dripping. Got a little stud here for my dipstick, because normally these bolts are metric on the LS engines with this tranny, and it has a bolt with a stud on it. So I used a piece of all thread, because now we are American threaded, so I can't use the original stud nut bolt deal.
Stud nut bolt deal, huh?
Stud nut bolt deal, it covers everything. Got it, all your bases covered right there. These are the original mounts, came out of the car, so I'm sure that solid mount plenty strong enough to contain this wild 327, possibly 300 horse though, so I mean, good thing we got it. Good thing we got it solid. Don't want this crazy power plant to go anywhere.
Now, as you take a look at the shop area, you see the master mechanic in his natural habitat. He is seizing the moment and putting an engine into a 62 Biscayne. Watch as he does it all by himself, and I stand right here narrating. The humble mechanic moves the cherry picker so the engine can be over the engine bay and dropped right in. Observe as the tranny leaks all over the floor, and as the cherry picker is maxed out.
Yeah, wait.
Now in situations like this, the master mechanic has to lift up the tranny in order to clear the fender. Now the engine is elegantly falling into the engine bay as the tail shaft of the transmission leaks profusely all over the ground.
Oh my gosh.
The master mechanic blurts out in frustration. Now, folks, if you take a closer look, you notice this cherry picker is not the one that we've been using for years. And that is true. This is a loaner cherry picker. And it is sad to say, the person we are loaning from said this new Ram is from Harbor Freight. And with that in mind, that makes the master mechanic very weary.
We're all gonna die!
Enough of this planet Earth commentary. So it is low enough now, he's gonna put a jack on the tranny and jack this up so it comes back level. So we could set this on the engine mounts on the frame. See? See what I tell you? I wasn't lying to you, it's starting to come up, okay. But we gotta come down a little more. We have to pull the driveline out. We didn't realize that we were gonna run into it. When we pulled the old engine out, we left it in there.
Eventually.
It's been a little bit, we're kind of waiting on parts, they're kind of trickling in. Got the engine put in here. As far as the engine is bolted in, it's done. The tranny, I still need to deal with the cross member. We got the drive line, the slip yoke changed, and had to shorten it about 1 inch. Got the drive line put back in it. The radiator's in here. This is the radiator I was talking about. This is good old Ron Davis. This thing's trick. So this is a cross flow style. The original radiators in this thing are top to bottom. The water passes through it once. So this one passes through it twice. So this is supposed to cool over the other style like 20 degrees cooler, 15, something like that, 20 degrees cooler over the original design. So this thing, man, this thing should have no overheating problem. This thing's gonna be really nice on coolant temp, which is, I'm really looking forward to that. So we're not running any mechanical fan. As you can see from before, we just put the pulley on here. We don't even have room for mechanical fan anyways, but we got dual electrics. So this is just sitting in here. We got to pull it back out because I got to do a little bit of grinding and stuff for the steering shaft. And I don't want to get any metal on the aluminum there. It'll put some holes in it. I got the overflow swapped around here, so the overflow's hooked back up. I dragged the overflow over because we got the cooler line. We're gonna be using the cooler in the radiator for the transmission. I got the bottom line kind of roughed in. It's pretty much the way it's gonna be. I'm gonna do a little rubber flex over here. I redid the whole fuel system. So we put the gas tank in the back, the original tank, new sender. So it's 5/16 line now coming out of the tank. So I got a hard line the whole way, 5/16, and then I just have a little flex here to the fuel pump. And then I got a hard line up from the fuel pump to the carburetor. Turned out really nice, I like it. I put the return spring in the back. This is a return spring bracket and everything that was on the big block that was in here before. I tried to incorporate much of the parts that were on it, back on it that I could. Like these wire separators are from the big block that was in here. And you can see this is the throttle position sensor that I was talking about. So it looks like this little kickdown cable, or not kickdown, but like a TV cable on a 700. But this is the throttle position. You can see it comes around and it comes over right here. I got it mounted. It's a TCI throttle position sensor. This is going to plug into the Edelbrock transmission controller, so it knows where your throttle's at for the load. So it knows, line pressure and everything for the transmission. So I'm sure you remember that, this never had a hood on it. Well, I say never. It's been over 20 years since it's had a hood on it. The last time it had a hood, it had a hole cut in it, and it had a 402 big block in here with a dual quad intake, and it had a little scoop on it, and the scoop stuck through about half of the scoop, a couple inches, and that's the last time this thing had a hood on it. And then after that's when it got the blower, the BDS. So then it had no hood at all. So the latch and stuff wasn't ever in here. So I got a latch. This is the original latch I found. So I got powder coated, and I got the hood part of it that goes under the hood, all powder coated, and the hood hinges. Turned out really nice, all gloss black.
Those look good.
And then also this thing used to be race oriented, so the battery was in the trunk. So we eliminated the battery in the trunk. We put it back up front here. I took out that breather tank, so we got a factory hold down bracket. This is a Classic Industries, this is aftermarket battery box, but I got it powder coated to match. This thing is super dirty still under the hood. We gotta give it a good bath once we get it all up and running.
It's almost like it was sitting out in the desert forever.
Oh man, it was sitting for a good 3 years in a garage that might as well have been outside. I still need to eliminate this one. We're not gonna use this breather tank at all either. This is what came with the engine. This is a 4-inch element, and it looks like it'll fit, but it's just not necessary. This engine doesn't need to have this much air cleaner on it. So I got a 3-inch element, and I got a new lid, just a plain chrome lid. This thing here's seen better days. But you can see, I already cut the stud down because it was too long anyways, and I'm getting it 1 inch shorter, so I trimmed it down. But it would be close to the fender. I think it might hit, but it's just not worth. Back here's good, but this is sloped down to the hood. I think the front here would be a problem. So I just went with a 3-inch, so 14 by 3. Plenty enough air for this little 327. We're really excited to get this thing back on the road. It's been, like we see on all these cars, they've been sitting entirely too long. Come back, check it out. This thing is, we're really excited about this. My sister can't wait to drive it. Hope it's slow enough for her, doesn't get away from her.
Oh, brother.
Make sure you go down, you like, share, subscribe. Come on back. Check it out. See you later.